How to combat imposter syndrome. Welcome to the School of Self-Worth Live. I'm Sam Osborne, the Self-Worth Guy. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how to combat imposter syndrome. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's you can change the way you think about it. You can change the way you think about imposter syndrome. And there's three things I want you to think about. You can change the way you think about imposter syndrome when you talk to someone about it. You can change the way you think about it when you write about it. And you can change the way you think about imposter syndrome when you see the positives of imposter syndrome. It's a bit early this morning. We had a time change here in the planet. So let's go through those three things. First of all, to combat imposter syndrome and to change the way you think about it, go and find someone to talk about it. It's best if you find someone that you trust, like a mentor, a teacher, or a friend. But it's even better if you find someone else who also feels like an imposter. And the two of you getting together and sharing your experience is actually going to be one of the best ways to combat imposter syndrome. So go and find someone that you can trust or someone who's experienced imposter syndrome, and that's going to change the way you think about imposter syndrome. The second thing you can do is to write about it. Now, I'm a big fan of journal writing, and I've kept a journal for many years. And I really recommend that you just write about your experience of imposter syndrome. And that's going to be really beneficial to you for combating imposter syndrome. Now, let me just make sure I've got my title there. Yeah, great. And the next thing I want you to do is to see the positives of imposter syndrome, the positive side of imposter syndrome. Now, the positives is that it helps you to remain, or it reminds you to stay humble and to be appreciative of the fact that sometimes you're not the expert. It takes time to become an expert, or that we're human and that's okay to make mistakes, even if you've got plenty of years of experience, qualification, maybe you've got a senior position. It's okay to remind yourself to be humble, that you don't have to be perfect. So that's one of the positives. And it also allows you to relate better to people. If you can see the positive of imposter syndrome, you got to remember lots of people feel like an imposter syndrome. I've been looking at the research, and apparently there is no difference between men and women or ages or locations. Everyone feels imposter syndrome pretty much the same. And finally, the positive side of imposter syndrome, to combat it, is to remind yourself that it's okay to take your time. Whatever it is you're doing in life, it's okay. So that's how you combat imposter syndrome. You change the way you think about it. Now, if you've liked this video, I've got a free gift for you. It's called Crush Imposter Syndrome Forever, the starter kit for bulletproof confidence. And you can get it at the links above on Facebook and LinkedIn, and the links below in YouTube, or maybe you're listening to this on SoundCloud. You can find the links below as well. If you'd like to join the School of Self-Worth Facebook group, the links are also provided. And if you remember just one thing from this video on how to combat imposter syndrome, it's change the way you think about it. Have a great day, everybody. See ya.